about you, but when it comes to the end of the year and I think about the prospects of planning for the new year, I get a little tired because I know that whole planning effort is a hard job. It's tough and it's challenging, and so we asked Graeme to come today to talk to us about some tools and techniques that will help us get a little bit of a head start for 2011 in our planning. So with no further ado, I'm going to ask Graeme to come on up here and tell us what's what for 2011. Welcome, Graeme.
Thanks very much. Well, let me just get set up here. Everyone hear that quite well? It seems like it's working. Just 1 second. There we go. We're all about great marketing. And we're not saying that we will do great marketing for you. Our passion is that the whole world can do marketing better. And that's really our crusade. So the outcomes today that we're looking for are twofold. Firstly, that you will think differently about marketing and that will affect how you plan for 2011, and indeed it will affect everything that you do. But also that you'll learn some tools, which we'll be happy to enlarge on with you, that will help you in that process. So marketing is lots of things, and that's the problem. The word has become very imprecise and confusing in many ways because we talk of it as a function, we talk of it as a profession. Some people think of marketing as advertising or communications, just that piece. Some think of it as strategy versus sales as tactics. So the word is a difficult word, and in many ways we'd prefer to have something a little clearer. People holding many different parts of the elephant, to them, all those views of marketing are real. So if we could make that clearer, all the better. Our definition of marketing is that marketing drives growth. It's very simple. We'll talk about why that works. But that's something that you can keep in your head and leave all that confusion behind. And it means growth in revenue, in the number of customers that you have, in the products that you have, in the winning stories and value delivered. So we're talking about positivity here and moving forward, moving upward, which is a big thing. And if we can view our marketing that way, how powerful is that? Now, every business and non-profit and education institution really needs growth, because businesses, organizations, and even people that don't grow die. This is reality. And of course, I don't mean people physically falling over dead, but if you're not learning and growing, then indeed you're going nowhere, and inside you're dying. And truly, the same thing exists for companies. So here's a loaded question. If growth is the goal, is marketing important? Now, perhaps I could, if I asked this audience if this audience was a group of manufacturing engineers, you might all be looking skeptical. But I think the answer here is, look, of course it's resoundingly important. And none other than Peter Drucker agrees with us on this. And he said business only has two functions, marketing and innovation. And I would argue, and we will show, that innovation is central to marketing, absolutely central. So, hey, we're important. You can pat yourselves on the back. This is a vital function, and all the rest are just costs. Dave Packard, co-founder of Hewlett-Packard, said that marketing is too important to be left to the marketing department. Right? It's absolutely true. And indeed, the best organisations, the most effective organisations, and we'll enlarge on this, are the ones where the CEO runs marketing. The CEO, that person may not have the title of Chief Marketing Officer or VP of Marketing, but the CEO must be intimately involved in the marketing effort and lead the whole company in that direction. Now, we have an additional definition for you, which is that great marketing drives reliable, sustainable growth. I think we all know we can do a campaign, we can make a push and get some growth, but keeping it up, keeping that growth going is really, really hard. In fact, it's something that defies most marketing organisations. And I don't mean that you don't have ups and downs. I'm talking about sustainable growth over the long term. So I'd ask you this, could you give me 3 companies that meet this definition of being great marketers? In other words, reliable, sustainable growth. Apple first, sorry.
Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson, I think it had some ups and downs, but yes, they have certainly been that way. Sorry? Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola? Yeah. Right, Wegmans, good. So all of those are good, but I didn't see everybody vaulting out of their chairs to say, well, of course, there's so many companies that do great marketing, because there aren't, really. The fact is that most people think of Apple. Apple was, in fact, the very first company mentioned. The gentleman over here said it. And I think part of the reason why, and we could enlarge on this, but we don't have time, is Steve Jobs' leadership and his attitude. We'll come back to the element of leadership. But I love what he says here. He's talking about never compromising. He's talking about going for the best. There's a great story about him when the iPhone was first designed, that they were really ready for market. It was a couple of months away from market. And he said, I just don't love this case. I don't love it. And so we have to stop and redo it. And I think in most companies, somebody would have overridden Steve Jobs and said, you've got to be kidding. That's crazy. This is good enough. But he prevailed, and the rest is history. The case of the iPhone was one of the main selling features. If we listen to one highly successful marketer, this is a guy called Bill Davidow, who's now a venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. But at the time we're talking about was Senior Vice President of Marketing at Intel. And he was really the marketing architect of the whole Intel 80XX microprocessor series that started with the IBM PC before some of us were born, and have continued right through the Pentium series and their domination of that market to this day. And this is what Bill Davidow said. He's saying you can do all kinds of good stuff with marketing programs, with the ads and the brochures and all the rest, the data sheets, but you can still be left with little to show for it. And that's something that's pretty unique to our profession. Most things, if you put the effort in and you put in the inputs, what you get out is fairly predictable. It isn't necessarily so in marketing, and it's a problem that we face. And he goes on to say, yeah, to the untrained observer, each of these activities will look so credible. And indeed, maybe they'll win some awards. But if it's not getting results, then we have a serious problem. The truth is, most marketing sucks. It's a sad fact, but it's true. And what we're talking about here is moving away from that, moving to the point where we can say most marketing is great. We believe that is certainly possible. Now, whenever there's something that's a real problem and is not working well, there's a huge opportunity, because problem equals opportunity. That's the mindset of the entrepreneur. So, if you can do great marketing, given the fact that most people can't, that's a huge competitive advantage. What a great thing. So let's think of it in those ways. Let's stay on the positive train here. So what does it take to do great marketing? We believe that it's actually, we've researched this, we've looked at a lot of different companies, we've looked at our own clients and through my experience, and we believe that it comes down to these 3 things. Of course, there are many elements that go into this, but these are the absolute essentials of great marketing. That is leadership first, process, and then innovative customer experience, which sounds a little Well, it sounds kind of jargonish, but bear with me on that. We'll talk about it. Now, this is pretty cool. I like this thing coming in. It's to say that you have to go through the leadership part first. If you don't get leadership right, nothing happens. And by leadership, I mean the leader sets the culture and builds the team and chooses the people and then moves them forward. And nothing happens in business, in any part of business, unless you have a great leader. So that's the first thing, and it's a prerequisite. Now, I'm sure some of you might say, well, our leader's not so hard. Well, then help that leader to lead you into great marketing. Process is the second part, and the third part again is us, innovative customer experience. Let's just look at some slides to talk about what this really means. So, about leadership, I think there's two mindsets. There's, on the one hand, the old marketing mindset. And forgive me if there's any chief marketing officers here, no offense, man, I'm just trying to portray something. And then we have the new growth mindset. Now, maybe we could think of this like the IBM and the PC ad, you know, or the PC and the Mac ad, where the guy in the suit is the PC and the cool guy is the Mac. So the PC guy says, I'm the chief marketing officer. And the Mac guy says, well, I lead the business, that's what I do. The other guy says, and I report to the CEO. Says, yeah, well, I'm an entrepreneur, that's what I have to be to make this work. And the PC says, it's my job. And the entrepreneur says, but this is my life. This is what we do. This is what we live for. The PC guy says, well, sales is her job. I do marketing, she does sales. Oh, God, what a pain. I really hate this. We never get along with sales. This is so difficult. Just, if we didn't have them, life would be so much better. And then the other guy says, yeah, well, we develop customers. That's what we do. As a team, we develop customers. Well, R&D is his job. And we don't like them very much either. Engineers are impossible to work with. They want to boss the world. They want to tell us what to do, what kind of products to make. So, again, we have a little problem there. And the other guy says, well, we develop great products. That's what we do as a team. Selling products and services, building customer experiences. We'll talk more about customer experiences. I own the brand. Who cares? We're growing the company, right? So this is about your mindset. It takes an entrepreneurial mindset. We need big companies. We need big companies doing marketing. But if you have an entrepreneurial, small team, flat team mindset, you can do so much. Now, the second part was process. So we've gone from leadership to process. Why do we need a process? Because marketing is a big, big, big field. I'm not telling you anything. There are so many facets of marketing. Some people concentrate on strategy, others concentrate on, excuse me, search engine optimization, or some particular facet of marketing. And they all go deep. It's broad. They all go deep. But, you know, you can't have tunnel vision. You can't just concentrate on one thing. So the idea is to use a process that will get you through, get you looking at all the elements of marketing so that they all get touched and they all work. When you have a process, you can remember the process. And after a while, it becomes intuitive to you. So you just do it. You say, first we understand, then we diagnose, then we articulate. That's elements of our process, but whatever your process is, you remember it, and you can communicate together using your process because it's common language. Process is basic to so many other fields, but it isn't necessarily basic to marketing, and we should make it so.